Hello and welcome to Woodfired Weekly at Manna from Devon Cooking School. This week we are going to be cooking mackerel and red mullet escabeche. We're going to cook the fish a little bit and then put a lovely dressing over the top. Couldn't be simpler, you're going to love it. Let's get started. So on the plate here I've got some nice fresh mackerel and red mullet. We're going to dust those with rice flour, a little bit of paprika, a little bit of cumin, a little bit of salt, just a very light dusting. We don't want to overwhelm the flavour of the fish. Some people think of this as a sort of summery dish, but really any time of the year this is going to make a most fantastic little starter. Over the top of that, olive oil. Just make sure there's a nice coating on both sides. In the oven I've got a pan warming up. So I've got a decently hot oven there, 2 Mississippis, nice hot pan, and when I put these fish into this hot pan I want to cook it so that I cook the flour on the outside and cook the fish through, but I don't want to cook them through very much at all, just a light cooking. So that's going skin side down onto the dry pan, but the oil is already on the outside of the fish. Holding it down just so that the skin kind of breaks and the fish doesn't pop straight up. And then back into the oven. Really only 3 or 4 minutes, depending on the heat of the oven, is all that's going to take. And then I'm going to get something ready for the escabeche sauce. So a little bit of finely chopped red onion. And as well as that I want some nice long strips of orange zest. So I'm just using a zester to take long strips. A little bit of lemon zest as well, but let's quickly look at the fish. I'm going to flip those over. The skin on the mullet is still visible, so we keep that lovely pink skin and the mottled silvery mackerel skin. Pop those back in for another minute or so. A little bit of lemon in there as well. We've also got some black olives chopped up, a little sherry vinegar, olive oil and some parsley. You can find this recipe in our Woodfired Fish and Seafood book, but we will of course also supply you with the recipe if you link through to our blog from below the video. So if I bring those out now and I just give them a little press, I can just feel them giving way under my fingers. And that's it, I don't want to cook them any more than that. So I'm going to pop those out onto this plate. And then in the same pan, I'm going to put some olive oil and a splash of sherry vinegar. Into that with the onion, and we're going to very lightly cook the onion for a couple of minutes in that mixture. So we've just started to cook those onions. So now I want to add orange juice. And with a little bit more heat in the oven, so I've made up the fire a tiny bit, we're going to reduce that orange juice so that we've just got a nice thick sauce that we're going to put over the top of the fish. So there's just a tiny little bit of that juice left, and that's exactly what we want. And I'm going to spoon that over the top. I'm getting a lovely little waft of vinegar there. Doesn't have to be served warm at all, and traditionally in the Mediterranean, in Spain and Portugal and where they eat this, it wouldn't be served warm by any means. It'd be served at room temperature or ambient temperature in the sunshine with a lovely glass of Fino sherry. What a fantastic little tapas or snack that would be. Little sprinkling of chopped parsley, little sprinkling of black olives over the top, and a few strips of that orange and lemon zest. And then with a little bit of the juice remaining in the pan there, just going to drizzle that around. And that lovely, simple, beautiful little escabeche is going to delight absolutely everything. It really retains lovely fresh flavours of the fish because we only cook those very, very lightly. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel if you'd like to see more of these recipes. We release one every week. If you want to see the recipe, we'll put that on our blog and we'll provide a link below the video. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.